Hello, everyone. So don't worry, I'm not going to talk. I had my time, but I want to invite two other women on the stage, women of Afghanistan, Roya, Shukria, two of my heroes. Half of the population being erased from everywhere. Taliban kicked out women of Afghanistan from schools. But there are women who never bow to their oppressors. And I have the honor to sit down with two of them. To be honest, anytime when I lose hope, when it comes to survive assassination plots, to move between safe houses, to see how people in Iran get executed, women get blinded, then I look into the eyes of women of Afghanistan and I really feel empowered by their power and their hope of fighting for themselves because they're alone. And when you see the media, quiet about women of Afghanistan. So I want to actually ask them. These two women always go on a stage and talk about women of Afghanistan. I want to torture them right now here to talk about themselves. To just talk about yourself. I'm going to start from Roya and then go to our new Vice President of World Liberty Congress. So Roya Mahboob, I really want you to introduce yourself and tell the people here and the world who you are and what is your background and why from Kabul to Berlin you speak loud against Taliban.
Hi everyone, thank you, Masih John. Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Roya Mahboob. I'm coming from Afghanistan, but my story started from a time that I'm not going to say that how many years ago, but but the first thing that is happening when I was standing in front of a computer. I call it a magic box. That moment changed my life because that magic box connected me to the outside world. It whispered to my ears that yes, when people outside of my home says no. And I realized that the knowledge, access to the knowledge is not a luxury, it's actually survival for us. And education is a seed, but technology is a water, and together they can change the generation. That computer and the time that I wasn't in a cafe, it's changed my entire lives. I decided to make technology to be the center of my career. I went to the schools, graduated from school, and then went to the university. I did computer science. And thanks to the Berlin, especially thanks to the Technical University of Berlin, we had a partnership with our university, and we had a German teacher. So, and I came to the Berlin for 1 semester. But that's, but I realized that, there are millions of the girls who are like me. They're curious, but giving another vision to explore the world. And I wanted that the same opportunity that changed my entire lives, I wanted that to giving to other girls the same access. Access to the computer, access to the internet, access to the connectivity, that they can get their, financial freedom and get their confidence. And that's why we started Digital Sun Fund, my nonprofit organization. And through my nonprofit organization, we started to building the IT centers inside of the public schools to teach young girls to learn about, coding, they learn about social media, they learn about financial literacy. We back in 2013 started teaching them about the Bitcoin. But all of this project was amazing, but still there is something is missing. We wanted to change the perception of the women's inability in science and technology in Afghanistan. And it was quite difficult for centuries. Women's ability in this industry was not recognizing by very male-dominated society. In 2017, I started a group called Afghan Girls Robotic Team. We found these young girls because I wanted to send two messages. One, the message to the girls inside of Afghanistan, but also to the women outside of Afghanistan. And that's why we started with this robotic team. We went to many of the stages. Obviously, the first time when we created the team, they couldn't get the visa. And we used the social media. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, talk about the movie. There is a movie based on Roya's life. When I saw the robotic girls were all united and winning the competition everywhere, I was very, very emotional. But Roya, tell me about how did you feel when women literally risking their lives because they had to fight inside their home with their own fathers and brothers to join you? How did you feel when you see the movie being like everywhere across the Europe and America?
It's a feeling so real. I mean, and at the same time, you see that your life is an honor to see that your life story is becoming as a movies and the biggest screens. But also, it's feel like you're not playing there. So it's kind of like interesting, was so real. But we are absolutely honored that the director make that movie. But I have to say that this is not a story of me or my team. It's a story of every young girls who go through the STEM education. They're facing with lots of the challenges. And we wanted that this movie also to telling the stories of the Afghan girls, what they are capable and what the talent they are. And if you're giving the opportunity to any girls, anywhere, in part of the world, they can do amazing things. They can be the next inventor, designer, and engineers. It's all about the opportunity and have equal access to resources.
Thank you so much, Roy. I'll get back to you, but I want to actually introduce our new vice president, which Berlin Parliament allowed us to have fair and free election. And how ironic, a woman from Afghanistan now representing the delegates from 60 authoritarian regime as vice president. I want to, yeah. So this is how I introduce you. But your activities are beyond that, because you're actually now leading a campaign which is called United Against Gender Apartheid, and trying to actually ask the democratic countries to expand the definition of apartheid in all international laws to include apartheid against women as well. But I want you now to talk about yourself, your background, and where, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Masih.
We'll get to the campaign.
All right, good morning and hello, Berlin. Glad to be here. And allowing me to be as loud as I can. I stand before you as a survivor, as a witness, and as a voice of millions of Afghan women who have been silenced, but never defeated, Masih. And that's not only Afghan women, Iranian women also the same. And allow me to say my story. I was the founder of underground or secret school during the first Taliban. I'm 50 plus, just half a century. And I have been witness several and different kind of occupations under different name. So maybe I'm not very diplomatic today, at least, because I live under gender apartheid, Masih.
But I want to know about your background, because you were an ambassador.
Oh,
you were a
before,
parliamentarian.
Before being ambassador, I drafted the constitution for every citizen in Afghanistan 2004 to vote. Reserve seat for women in parliament, reserving their freedom of expression and practicing democracy after Soviet occupation in Afghanistan, where free word and free country stand by us. But today I have a question. How possible to believe and think a country where it was on the right path for democracy now is being occupied by the most totalitarian regime under the name of Taliban? Is that acceptable? Is that justice? To see democracy getting replaced by autocracy? Shall we allow this to happen? No. So we need voices. We need your unity. We need you to stand with women and men inside and outside of Afghanistan.
But do you see, Shukria Jan, I've seen you meeting with a lot of parliamentarians across the globe. I've seen you going to United Nations, which we both have different views of United Nations. You work with them, and I believe we have to create alternative United Nations. But I strongly respect your point of view. Tell me what really the democratic countries can do. What really the leaders, imagine now you're talking to Berliners, but at the same time to policymakers. What is the situation of women in Afghanistan right now, and how they can help to women of Afghanistan inside the country?
Gender apartheid is not a moral or cultural. Sorry, gender apartheid is not a moral matter. It is a moral and legal emergency, Masih Jan. And we demand the word international platforms to codify gender apartheid. We are not asking you to bring star from sky for us. We would like the international conventions to work and save human dignity. We shouldn't let women of Afghanistan to be erased, to be suppressed, and to be removed from the society where, at the moment we are talking, women in Herat are protesting, the doctors, because Taliban are not letting them to work. They are not allowing even doctors, nurses, midwives. It's not only Herat. Mazar-e-Sharif is a very popular name to Germans. They've been there. So this is the same Afghanistan, guys. You've been there for 20 years. Your flags, your ambassadors, your commanders, everyone like to go and visit Afghanistan. My proposal is stand the right side of the history for the right purpose, for freedom, democracy, for liberty. Yes, I do have different vision about United Nations. But now I am the vice president of the United Nations of designated political presidents around the globe. And I believe we are, World Liberty Congress, are the majority, representing the majority population in this globe. Same as Afghan women are representing the majority voices from inside of Afghanistan.
Yeah, and with that voice, she was successful to bring attention to gender apartheid. But I want to ask you, Roya, tell us what is the situation right now on the floor in Afghanistan? Because a lot of media, they don't talk about it. So I want to know about you.
Sure, thank you. It's almost 1,500 days that the Afghan young girls, almost 2.2 million women, are banned from attending the secondary and higher educations. Many of the women do not have access to justice, to the health care. The World Bank estimated $1.4 billion that it will cost us every year in the poorest nations, that they will cost because the women cannot go to the schools. 70%, because of the UNIMA, 70% reported of the UNIMA shows that 70% of the women in Afghanistan, they have either anxiety, they express the depressions. 1 in 10 women are attempted to the suicide. And this is, this cost is more than the cost of the numbers that the World Bank give. It's also the cost of the human. 4 years of academic educations that is passed, that the next generation of young girls are not be able to go to the schools. This is more than the word that we use: ban, restriction, and or persecution. It's a created word that we can use for the situation of the women in Afghanistan as a gender apartheid. It's a system that segregated women and excluded women from the public lives. Ban for education, ban from going to the schools and having work, or even having access to justice. It's more than we're talking about, is it culturalism or conservatism? It is a crime against the dignity, and as well, not having a peace, a threat to the peace. I think that the 3 things we needed to do is to protect it, provide, and persecute it. Protect the young women and the activists and the journalists, and providing either education underground and without the permissions, but also persecute it, especially those who are enable this, financing this, that the women should living under such a situation.
Thank you, Roya John. It's beyond sad to hear that in 21st century, this is happening in front of the eyes of the free world. I want to talk about solidarity, and solidarity means that there is a woman here right now. Put your camera down, don't film me, I'm talking about you. Stand up, stand up. Kausar, she was blinded by the Iranian regime during Women Life Freedom Uprising. With one eye, she stood up with women of Afghanistan and made a video and said that the regime in my country got my eye away from me, but I stand with my sisters in Afghanistan. This is what solidarity looks like. Thank you. And I want to ask the same question. How many of you think that this is the moment to stand up together with the women of Afghanistan, with the women of Iran, not with our oppressors? That's the question that I want you to leave when you leave this conference. And you have 1 minute each to talk about what you really want. What is your call of action? If you want every single of people here around the world to hear about your call of action, what is that?
First of all, do not whitewash Taliban under any name, all right? First of all, and the most important. And second, I strongly believe, from Berlin to Kabul, freedom lives when we stand for it. If the answer is yes, then stand by us. Be and listen. Don't talk about me, talk to me. This is what we want. Recognition of gender apartheid and being united and standing for democratic values. Democracy is not a cherry pick. Democracy is value and principle, and we should be sticking on our principle, which is we believe, not only for our country, but for the people in the globe. Let's say no to
gender apartheid.
Yes,
And
correct.
Thank you, Shukria. When Shukria said, talk to me, not talk about me, it means include women of Afghanistan in all the negotiations with Taliban. In Belgium, the politicians met with the Taliban, and some of them actually, bowed to the Taliban, but at the same time, you made them to talk to you as well.
Masih John, it's not, I have no desire to go and sit and talk with the Taliban.
Exactly.
Who the hell they are? I went 2 times vote from Kabul, and they have 0 vote. How they can come? They are not capable to come and talk to me. They don't have, right now, Afghanistan don't have any constitution. Yesterday, there was very emotion because 40 million people have 0 elected institution. It's shame. It's shame for those achievements. We made it together. Yes. So that's why when I say talk to me, means include women. Don't go just only to deal either with warlord, extremist group, or people like Taliban in Taliban. At the end, you have to stand with nations.
Thank you, Shukriya. Roya John? Yeah, thank you.
I don't want to add any more comments because I think that you and Shukriya did a great job, so I think that I want to let...
Leave it. We stand for women of Afghanistan. We stand for humanity. We stand for dignity. We stand for girls to go back to schools. We stand with every single woman being blinded in Iran. We stand with every single woman who want to have dignity. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
I stand with you. Thank you.